I know where I was going with that, but we are going to be kicking off our best of 3 quarterfinals here on Inside and Out. It's like, you go inside of US West, and then you go out to Central. I think that's how it works. In the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have our pink Protoss player coming out from the land of Poland, graciously signing up today. He is, of course, going to be representing Team Blazer. Blaze it. He is Krystianer.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out, going for the pool first opener, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player himself, hailing from the land, representing all of Southeast Asia, and representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
I was gonna say relax, Go Joey's still in this tournament, but and I remember that's a different region.
Yeah, exactly. We glossed over it, but Go Joey did 2-0 Demi, so Demi was already taken out of the tournament as well. There's just been so many results, and so many top-tier players have been getting knocked out left and right. It's crazy to see, especially bearing in mind that, Demi, he's actually gone all the way to the finals, not relatively recently as well, in Sparkling Tuna Cup, so just that much of a stacked bracket this week.
Oh, yeah. And now that our favorites and previous champions are out of the running, I mean, again, everything's up in the air. Everything's up for grabs. I do kind of feel like whoever wins this particular series will give us, will probably become the favorite going into the semis and the finals. It's Krystianer and MeomaikA, I have to say. I think, in my mind, they're pretty close.
They're insanely strong players, but I also don't want to gloss over Dimaga because,
True!
He took down Chance. I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
The Hades are back.
The Hades are back, mate. Back in style. So, yeah, it's really hard to predict how this tournament is going to go, but I agree that these two players are some of the favorites here, but I feel like there's a lot of favorites.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of favoritism going on. And unfortunately, that did have to be cancelled right at the end there. Krystianer skipped out on the Zealot, but thankfully does still have the Adept over here. And, okay, really good probe drilling as well.
Despite that, 2 workers are going to be going down here. MeomaikA already getting worth it for this pool first opener. He only made 4 lings, by the way, which is why Krystianer didn't really commit too much to this defense, but he even forced a second pylon here on the low ground. Quickly checking, did MeomaikA see the opener? He did see the Stargate.
Did he click on it? He probably did.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Because those links weren't alive for too long.
They weren't alive for too long at all. Here you go, the first 2 adepts are here. First off, they can one-shot workers. We'll see how much damage they can get done. There aren't too many lings here, so already... Oh, can they get some drones?
He's already got 2. Should be able to get 3. Probably gonna get 4. Probably gonna get 5. 4. Double the amount of probes that went down across the map.
Yeah, exactly. Nice counter damage here from Krystianer. He also scouted to confirm that there was no additional gases, there was no roach warren or anything crazy behind the pool first. And now he can move across the map with his Oracle. Thankfully, MeomaikA, spores are on the way. Again, he did see and confirm that Stargate earlier.
Once again, this Oracle being forced to use up its energy back home. Definitely less than ideal here for Protoss.
Oh, and I wonder where MeomaikA's going to go with this, because third base is on the way for Meo. His drone count is okay for the time being, but he's going into a relatively fast lair. He's not going for a safety roach warren, which means something like Glaive Adepts would punish him, but from here he can go straight into Hydras.
Yeah, he definitely has that option available to him, but like you said, like, something like Glaive Adepts will punish this. And we should be seeing something like Glaive Adepts, if not Glaive Adepts entirely. Twilight Council is about to finish up. Warp Prism is already on the way what is going to be research here by Krystianer?
That is going to be the question here. I imagine it's going to be Glaze, but we shall see. He has all 4 of his gases already being saturated here. And where is that upgrade from Krystianer? At the same time, looks like 2 drones went down here to this Oracle, getting a little bit of damage. There is that Hydrogen that we were talking about. So MeomaikA is going for his classic Hydra timing.
It's not going to be an upgrade thrown down by Krystianer.
Oh
He's going straight into High Templar, which I gotta say, I think I like this against Hydras. I'm not sure how it's really gonna stack up, you know, like cost wise and whatnot, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he goes into a fast storm, which I imagine is going to happen. If he is able to get storm up and running before the Hydra timing, then I want to favor Krystianer, but that's a big if, because I think MeomaikA for the most part is done droning. Like, he's already working on his first wave of Hydras.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit, glands. Not glands. The muscle augments. There we go. Muscular augments is already the first upgrade being researched here by MeomaikA. That's how you know he wants to use these Hydras a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Lings are dipping in and out. I believe the Lings were able to confirm. Oh, they were not. There's an Archon drop coming across the map to scout and also to deal a little bit of damage, but he has to be careful. The Hydras are here to focus on the Prism.
Yeah, unfortunately for MeomaikA, he did not research Groove Spine, so you know, this Warp Prism still has a little bit more opportunities to maneuver.
Yeah, but he has to be oh so careful, because one wrong move and he will lose a Prism and he'll be forced to recall these Archons.
He definitely will. MeomaikA playing a little bit with fire. He recognizes the danger that those Archons now pose, and so he's thrown down that Roach Warren to act as a bit of a buffer.
Oh, exactly, and I have to wonder how MeomaikA is going to do here, because I mean, Hydra Ling is okay, but against Charge Lot Archon specifically, like, they decimate light units. So I appreciate that MeomaikA is switching things up. He is throwing down a Roach Warren here, so he's going to be going for Roach Hydra.
Yeah, it definitely stacks up a little bit better against Charge Lot Archon, but Charge Lot Archon is still an absolutely powerful and potent unit composition. It's a lot of damage potential he can get done.
There really is. And that's why that buffer, that Roach buffer, is going to be so important here to keep those Hydras alive, to keep their DPS output as efficiently or as high as possible here for MeomaikA. We'll see if Krystianer can catch on to what's happening. Again, this is a very unorthodox style coming out from MeomaikA. The Oracle is doing what he can. He confirms at least a 4th base is on the way, so he knows that for the most part he should be relatively safe. Bit of a Ling run by, it runs into a lot of Archons.
Yeah, that's more than you normally see at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Jesus. There's a reason for that. Mate, Krystianer, he's got the Prism, he's got his 3 bases, he's fully saturated, and he is going across the map.
He is not expanding anytime soon, at least not before he can get a little bit of damage done. And by a little bit of damage done, I mean a lot of damage done. I appreciate that MeomaikA respects the threat enough to throw down a bunch of Spine Crawlers, but Krystianer is starting to split up his forces.
Yeah, Zealots are going to hit this 3rd base at the same time. Another wave of Zealots hitting the 4th base as well. So MeomaikA is being pulled apart a little bit, but the main army of Krystianer doesn't push in. This was going to hit with +1. +1 just finishes now, but Krystianer wasn't able to make full use of it. He backs off after seeing the army. He starts Storm.
Yeah, Storm. He's going to need Immortals as well. Once again, a lot of damage potential for the army composition of Krystianer, but we'll see if that's enough to overpower the sheer quantity of army that MeomaikA is going for. I mean, he's pretty dang close to maxing out.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping him is lack of overlords.
Man, ever since he made that Roach Warren, he's made nothing but Roaches. No Ravagers, no finesse with this army. He made the Hydras earlier, and he hasn't been able to keep them alive. Meanwhile, stays strong.
Oh! Gets a massive chunk of Roaches and Hydras as well. Psystorm isn't done yet. These Archons, or not Archons, sorry, High Templar are still looking mighty squishy, but now that it's done, he targets the Hydras immediately. Look at how low health they are.
Yeah, they're low health, but you know what? They're still alive, and they are breaking on through. The Archons are pulling one after the other. The Immortals are being focused down as well. Where are the Zealots? Where is the buffer here for the army of Krystianer?
Wow. Funny thing is, Hydras are actually tankier against Immortals.
They are.
Than they are against Archons, so yeah, a lot of, it just feels like MeomaikA has found the direct counter to everything here.
Exactly. It looks like the Zealots were sent across the map. Instead, Krystianer went for a run by. He got 13 drones, but that means that there is nothing here to protect the army. The Immortals are being focused on one after the other. Somehow, some way, MeomaikA is making Roach Hydra work.
GG is called. MeomaikA takes game number 1 after somehow, some way, making Roach Hydra work.
GG. Again, he made an insane amount of roaches. As you were saying, he was basically maxed out. And it's impressive to see that despite the fact that that was a pretty good stasis trap that did kind of CC a large portion of the army, it didn't even matter. There just wasn't that zealot buffer that I think we were all expecting, protecting those Immortals, protecting those Archons.
Yeah, unfortunately there. I mean, Krystianer, he was playing on 3 bases for a while. He was focusing a lot of his resources into getting his high-tech units, which you can't really blame him for. That takes priority. But I guess he just wasn't really expecting the timing coming out from MeomaikA.
Yeah. Again, it was a really weird timing. Krystianer was in the middle of expanding. He was taking a 4th base. Like he was taking another base. You know, he was working off of 7 gates, which 7 gates isn't bad, but he had just used them to warp in offensively across the map for run bys of all things, so he couldn't warp in defensively. He wasn't set up with shield batteries. He only had 1, and it got focused down immediately. Like, it was the stars aligned for Mio.
And MeomaikA wasn't even maxed out, I want to point out.
Yeah.
He was supply capped at 180 supply. But regardless, we'll see if things are going to be a little bit different here, as we are going into a bit of a different server. And it is going to be a different map as well. Cosmic Sapphire, seeing that a lot, where in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in that top left-hand corner, we of course have our pink Protoss player coming out from the land of Pole, otherwise known as Poland. He is going to be representing Team Blazer. He is Krystianer.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player himself. He is red, representing the Juggernauts. Currently up 1-0 in this series and going for a 12 pool. It is MeomaikA. Oh boy. I also...
Oh boy,
I didn't really want to say it as it was happening, but afterwards I'll say it now. The other impressive thing about that was that MeomaikA, he sat in the storms as well.
He did, didn't he?
Like
I was like, oh man, these Hydras, they're down to the red.
Yeah.
He's not gonna survive.
It's one of those things.
And then they did.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where health is a resource, and the Hydras, they were on the brink of death, but they still do the same DPS as a full health Hydra, you know? So they still had so much DPS output on that army, on those Archons, on those Immortals. You know, I almost want to say that MeomaikA knew that he didn't need to split, and he didn't need to spread. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe he knew.
Maybe.
Maybe he didn't know, but he had a feeling. That feeling was, you know, kind of how... what does it feel like to get electrocuted? It's not tingly. Shocking.
Shocking, you know, sensations were had one way or the other, and MeomaikA knew what he needed, what he could get away with, and it was a really crucial timing as well, just before Storm hit, and Storm hit halfway through. Regardless, we are now in game number 2 with this 12 pool. The Lings are trying to do a little bit of damage here. They do kind of trade with the Zealot, but MeomaikA recognizes he can't really kill the Zealot in the end. He will back off, especially on Cosmic Sapphire. You don't need that many buildings to wall off, and the surface area is quite reduced on these buildings.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, yeah, still a huge reduction.
Oh yeah, like that cyber core is so safe. Oh my god. So yeah, an odd move for MeomaikA to go for a 12 pool of all things on Cosmic Sapphire. Because of that, he doesn't really get too much damage done. He doesn't even force too much of a reaction. I mean, I guess he forces Zealot, I guess.
We guess. And the Zealot's still alive, so can still be useful later down the line. I mean, even just to act as a bouncer over in this wall. Still has its uses.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely still has its uses. Meanwhile, we do have both adepts commit to the shade. They already get one drone for their troubles. Slowlings are going to do their best to try and chase these down. And it looks like they get a little not even a surround. Oh my god, those adepts are so slippery.
Man, they've definitely been lubed up a little bit, but they do shade right into the middle of all of these drones, so they will finally get taken out. 2 drones for 2 adepts, not too bad. Now 2 drones for 2 Archons, that would be, hey, no, that is not a good trade.
Oh god,
I mean, Protoss.
I mean, I'm sure MeomaikA's happy that only 2 drones went down. Now he doesn't have anything to worry about. Meanwhile, he hasn't really been able to get a scout off, so he's playing a little bit in the dark. Soon he should throw down some spores, just because he doesn't know what he's up against. He does have a handful of queens, but only 3 between his bases. There we go. Spore does start in the main.
Yeah, he's getting nice and prepared over here.
Yeah, and thankfully for MeomaikA, Krystianer, he's more concerned with killing overlords than he is with going across the map.
I mean, it makes sense, you know, MeomaikA. Even with only 180 supply, was able to win that previous game, so Krystianer, he's got to limit that supply for his opponent.
I mean, MeomaikA did get supply block quite heavily. Meanwhile, the Lings are here to try and keep this overlord alive. They cannot do it. The overlord does go down.
Now these Lings are swearing vengeance, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it. Krystianer playing a little bit more economic this time, and this is something I'm a lot more familiar with, Light, after throwing down the Twilight Council. Glaive is currently being researched.
Yeah, this is a little bit
Not Storm.
A little bit more committed. 3 gateways in the main, 2 in the natural, 5 in total. That's a lot of gates. That's a lot of adepts. And MeomaikA's in the dark. He's making a lot of Lings. His goal here is to force a cancel of this 3rd base. Oh, no.
I'm not sure he knows. I'm not sure he knows.
Oh, God.
Now he does.
So the Lings can do some damage, but now more adepts are being revealed here, and adepts are exactly what you want against all these Lings. Oh my god.
Yeah, this has got to give MeomaikA a little bit of an inkling, but do you see what I see, Light?
Oh my god.
That production tab.
Yeah, we saw a fast lair here from MeomaikA. I was wondering what that was going to be for, especially off of very little gas. He's going for a Queen Ling all in.
Yeah. That's a pretty good way of dealing with... Queens, I mean, are a pretty good way of dealing with Stargate units, but they're not necessarily the best against adepts, and they're even worse when the Nidus gets scouted.
Yeah, and you know what, Krystianer, as you said, he's scouted the Nidus. He's throwing down a pylon in his own main base. He's getting ready for whatever MeomaikA has to throw at him. The Nidus gets thrown down, not within the bases of Krystianer. He's going to go for a slow push with all those queens. Can it really contend with Glaive Adepts?
I really doubt it when we have this many adepts on the map.
I think this is kind of a blind counter, but we'll see.
Queen! Oh. One of them almost goes down just completely needlessly.
Yeah, exactly. And again, these adepts, they want to fight these Lings. I mean, maybe there's a world where MeomaikA can get a full surround, but even then, I don't know if this is really going to go his way.
Yeah, very smartly done by Krystianer. He pre-shades, anticipating the surrounds that Nidus should go down, and these queens are looking mighty vulnerable.
Yeah, the queens are now off of creep. That means they cannot transfuse each other. They're falling one after the other. Lings, they dive into the mineral line, but the adepts are going to be a little bit too much here. They're not, probes just aren't falling, and even if they did, it wouldn't even matter. GG. Krystianer defends the all-in.
Yeah. Definitely a questionable choice there by MeomaikA, but a very good hold by Krystianer nonetheless. You could see it in his eyes when he found out that he had to defend instead of go across the map of his adepts. You could see his heart just sink. But in the end, he dealt with it, and he won.
Oh, yeah. He did. GG, well played. For those wondering, MeomaikA was blindly going for a Nidus all-in. He had no idea what Krystianer was doing, and by the time he pieced it all together, it was too late. He was committed, you know? There was no droning from there. No way.
None whatsoever. And that means we're going to go into our ace match. Like I said, I think these two players are very much, you know, neck and neck when it comes to their level. Whoever wins this is probably the favorite to win the entire tournament.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see who moves on from here. We're going all the way to that ace match. Meanwhile, again, Krystianer blindly went for Glaive Adepts, and that just happened to be exactly what he needed. Hey, I saw the Nidus. Thank God.
Yeah. It's like, things are finally looking up.
Oh, they are, and now we go all the way to that ace match. Oh, and we'll see kind of how things turn out here. We'll see who moves on to those semis.
They already have an opponent waiting for them, and guess we'll save that for later on. As for now, we are going to be concluding our best of 3 quarterfinals here on Data Under the Sea.
Is that Titanic?
No.
That sounded like Titanic.
No. Hey, in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we of course have, like it's both water movies, our pink Protas player coming out from the land of Poland. He is of course going to be representing Team Blazer. He is 1 map away from making it to, I believe, his first semifinals here in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. He is Krystianer.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have our Vietnamese Zerg player himself representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
And yep.
I was gonna say, technically, the Titanic did end up under the sea.
There we go, yeah. Now, spoilers.
Spoilers for a movie that came out before you were born, Yaku.
From a movie before I was born about a thing that happened before any of us were born.
Ay. I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying. Have you even seen the Titanic? Have you?
Have I?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure if I have. I have to have seen it, right?
Have you?
But I have no memory of it, so I probably didn't.
Oh,
no, maybe I did, but I forgot. No, I feel like it's one of those movies that I would have seen by now, but I have no memory of seeing it, so yeah, maybe I didn't.
Shaking my head, Yaku. Shaking my head.
We'll put it on the list.
I'm surprised Steel Mode hasn't forced you to watch it for like a movie club or something. I mean, I guess tonally it is a little bit different compared to what you usually watch, but yeah. Crazy.
Is it though? Is it though? I mean, Steel is biased against that one director.
True. He is biased against
James, that's his name.
Steven Spielberg?
What?
Hancock?
Did Steven Spielberg do Hancock?
I was thinking of Hitchcock. I was thinking of Remember Hitchcock when he flew around and he
Yeah, you know when Hitchcock, when he made that movie with Will Smith.
God.
When he
when he fought the robots.
yeah.
There you go.
When he sent the Terminator back in time.
Speaking of going back in time, one Adept does sneak into the main base, and wow, the Adept doesn't just scout the lair, it also sees a Roach Warren. I have to wonder if that Roach Warren was thrown down intentionally or not, because that was thrown down as, as the Adept was already in the main base. Meanwhile, Krystianer is also doing his own thing.
Yeah, his own thing. That is the same thing that he did previously, but, maybe this time MeomaikA will actually give him the opportunity to utilize it.
Yeah, so Krystianer is going for a Glaive Adept opener this time. So there's no Stargate, there's no Oracle first. This will hit faster. This is going to be that much more committed. There is a Robo with this, so a Prism and Adepts are going to be coming across said map. Only 4 gateways so far, so not ultra committed. You can transition from here. It isn't all in by any means, but it can do a lot of damage if it does go unscouted.
Yeah, it's not all in, but it can still end the game.
Oh, meanwhile, quickly checking the vision of MeomaikA as 2 Adepts to get another drone kill. MeomaikA did see the Twilight Council, so he knows that it's not a Stargate. He knows he doesn't need spores unless it's for DTs. So roaches are going to be coming out, and he will have the tools to defend against Glaive Adepts.
He definitely will, but what about against Immortals? Okay, I thought Krystianer might pick up the Immortals and send them across the map as part of this. But no, they're just for safety back at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's the transition. He's going to be banking Immortals back at home. That means that Krystianer doesn't intend to end the game with these Adepts. Again, he only wants to poke and prod and be annoying and get some drone kills if he can, and fall back on Immortals for that Roach counterattack.
And he definitely can get a lot of drone kills. MeomaikA was playing this safe. He was producing Roaches, but he doesn't have too many of them yet, and he doesn't even have that many Lings to catch the Shades.
Oh yeah, 2 Adepts do get into the main base. Workers are falling left and right. The rest of the Adepts are here, chilling at the third. Roaches do get split up, so MeomaikA so far is splitting up quite nicely, but 5 drones already went down.
Yeah, pretty good at MeomaikA to retreat a bunch of his drones back to the natural base, but now Krystianer is making full use of the entire map. He is just dropping at the blind spots that MeomaikA has got.
Yeah, exactly. Goes here into the into the main base. We have Adepts threatening the third at the same time. MeomaikA has to split up as best he can to minimize his losses. Thankfully, he doesn't have any drones here at the third base. MeomaikA actually cutting a lot of workers. He's making Lings. He doesn't care about the Adepts anymore. He wants to go across the map.
And he's going across the map, and he is going to run straight face first into a couple Immortals. 3 Immortals already. Ooh. That is terrifying when you're a Roach player.
Yeah, without Ravagers, how do you intend to break this? MeomaikA, he dips on up the ramp, and immediately he starts droning. Immediately he turns around.
He sees the Immortals and it just nopes out of there.
Yeah, he's like, nope. I want none of that. So, yeah, he's going to start droning. He's going to be able to defend against these Adepts. Now, because of all these Immortals and such a commitment, Krystianer himself may be looking to go for... Okay. I was like, is he going to go for a 2-base all-in? No. He also expands and takes his own third.
Yeah, he definitely has his options open, and he's continuing to keep them open. Don't want to close them.
Oh yeah, so both players kind of bounce off each other in a way. I mean, again, MeomaikA is still struggling to deal with all these Adepts. Thankfully, they haven't gotten out of control. But what's important is that MeomaikA is still making nothing but Lings and Roaches here. He's a little bit supply blocked, a little bit unfortunate here as he makes 3 Overlords. Oh my god, the Adepts might even more damage.
Yeah. But on the other hand, so do the Roaches. I'm going to get a cancel on top of his third base. Krystianer still going to save it, and he will, thanks to all these Immortals.
Oh, he will hold on to it. Did lose 2 pylons in the process. At the same time, the Adepts, they just keep on dealing more damage. 4 more drones went down. But we have a Link Flood behind this. MeomaikA never intended to really macro out of this. He wants to get us around. I think he's recognized, you know, those Immortals, they're looking a little bit exposed. They're looking a little bit naked.
Yeah. You got a couple of sentries over there, but we'll see how on point your force fields can really are. Adepts are gonna decimate the entire economy of MeomaikA. If Meo wasn't all in, he is now.
Yeah, exactly. His hand has been forced. Let's go. We have 5 Immortals here from Krystianer. We have a couple of force fields being thrown down, but we have Ravagers to help deal with that as well. MeomaikA, he has to try to end the game here and now.
And his surround just hasn't really worked out for him yet, but now the Roaches are starting to get right into the meat of things. Ooh. The Immortals starting to get low, but everything is starting to go down here from the Zerg side. Krystianer has been able to hold, but here comes some reinforcements from MeomaikA. Once again, MeomaikA is fully committed to this. He needs to end the game. Did the Overseer just go down?
The Overseer just got sniped, and Krystianer is so smart, he's going for a Dark Shrine. He knows how all-in MeomaikA is. If the game goes on a little bit longer, DTs are going to straight up hold by default. So MeomaikA, he's got to go now. He's got to go, puppy.
These are so slow off creep.
They are.
And MeomaikA, he is going straight for the jugular. He completely avoids the army. But now he's being baited a little bit.
Yeah, he's being baited right now. He is dealing with the force fields in the end. Overcharge is being popped. The shield battery is going to go down immediately, but can he really contend with all these Immortals?
Yeah, there might have been an opportunity for him earlier if he got the surround, but I'm not convinced it's still there for him. GG is called, and Krystianer will take that series 2-1. I gotta say, like, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see DTs, but very well played by our Polish Protoss. GG, well played coming out here from Krystianer.
GG indeed. That was a well fought ace match there. MeomaikA, again, he was going all in anyway, but he was forced even more all in. Like, again, he was really struggling to deal with all those adepts. There were drones falling left and right all over the place. They were not meant to be. And yeah, he just was forced into a really awkward position because of the sheer amount of immortals that Krystianer had. He was just ready for any kind of aggression, any kind of roach push. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm catching a chat right now. Why are there 3 immortals? Well, it's because Krystianer's smart, Chase. And by the way, thanks, Chase, for the resub. 12 months in a row. And a very eventful series going on there, so unfortunately we weren't quite able to shout that out, but yes, we much appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Chase, for supporting us for 12 months in a row, an entire year. Thank you so much, Chase. And yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Krystianer, he was just anticipating roach aggression from MeomaikA, and he read MeomaikA like a book, you know? He just had non-stop immortal production to the point where he had 5 up to 6 immortals by the time the roaches came, and that's exactly what he needed.
Yeah. He was even getting contingency after contingency. He was thrown out at Dark Shrine right at the end. Didn't even need it. But if he did, he would have had it.
Oh yeah. He would have had it in the end. So, oh my god. Really well done there by Krystianer in the end, just preparing himself well for MeomaikA's shenanigans. And now we move on to the semifinals. As you were saying, a bit of a treat here. The first time that I'm at least going to be casting this this Ukrainian player / caster.